Hello, Beach class. With Mr. Greenhow away this week and Birch class off, we're taking a break from James and the Giant Peach, and instead we're reading with me, and I've chosen this 4-in-1 book. It's a Say Which Way the Adventure books. Some of you might have seen one of these before, but it might be new to you. There are 4 stories in this book: Pirate Island, In the Magician's House, Lost in Lion Country, and Once Upon an Island. And the book's written by Blair Polly and D.M. Potter. So how this book works. These stories depend on you. You say which way the story goes. What will you do? At the end of each chapter, you get to make a decision. Turn to the page that matches your choice. P233 means turn to page 233. There are many paths to try. Your first decision is to pick which story to read. Things get trickier after that. Oh, and watch out for giant squid, pirates, lions, and that pesky magician. Here's the list of the stories, and we're going to turn straight to Pirate Island. At the resort. Your family is on holiday at a lush tropical island resort in the Caribbean, but you're not in the mood to sit around the pool with the others. You want to go exploring. You have heard that pirate treasure has been found in these parts, and you are keen to find some too. You put a few supplies in your day pack, fill your drinking bottle with water, grab your mask and snorkel, and head towards the beach. You like swimming, but you've been planning this treasure hunt for months, and now is a good time as any to start. The beach outside the resort stretches off in both directions. To the right, it runs past the local village, where children laugh as they splash and play in the water. Palm trees line the shore and brightly coloured fishing boats rest on the sand above the high tide mark. Past the village, way off in the distance, is a lighthouse. To your left, the sandy beach narrows and soon becomes a series of rocky outcrops jutting into the sea. Steep cliffs rise up from the rocky shore to meet the stone walls of an old and crumbling fortress. You have 4 hours before your family expects you back. It is time to make your first decision. Do you go right and head towards the lighthouse on page 8, or go left and towards the rocks and the old fortress on page 12? I'm going to make the decision again this time. We're going to page 12. Page 12. You decided to go left and head towards the old fortress. You head down to the firm sand where the walking is easier and start your journey towards the old fortress. It is an imposing looking place, even if it is in ruins. Stone walls rise vertically out of the cliffs, almost as if they grew there. Only the crude joints in the massive stones used to construct the fortress walls give any hint to them being man-made. The tower at one end of the fortress is still standing, although its roof has long gone. Along one wall, 3 ancient cannon point out towards the sea. These cannon once protected the fort and the village from pirate raiders that used to sail these seas many years ago. The waves are bigger down this end of the beach. You can see white water spraying high into the air, and when the waves crash onto the rocks ahead. Further inland, the rugged slopes that lead up to the fortress are covered in dense jungle. A layer of mist hangs near the fortress, and steam rises from the humid jungle below. In the ocean, not far from the fortress, is a small island with lush vegetation growing on it. Much of the island's shoreline is steep and rocky, but you notice a small patch of sandy beach at the near end. You can't see any huts on the island, and it looks too small to have fresh water on it, so you doubt anyone lives there. The sun shines in your eyes as you walk, so you pull a pair of sunglasses out of your day pack and put them on. This makes everything so much easier to see. Before long, the sandy beach becomes rocky, and you're hopping from rock to rock across tidal pools. You are pleased you wore runners rather than sandals, because the surface underfoot is sharp and slippery with spray. As you work your way around one of the larger pools, you look down into its clear water and see tiny fish, starfish, urchins and mini crabs. The pool is like a little village. The small fish swim in schools around the pool, darting here and there in perfect unison. You stop for a moment and watch the animals. One little hermit crab has found a discarded shell to use as its home. The shell is much larger than the little crab, and he seems to be struggling to carry its weight. A fish comes to investigate, and the crab disappears into the shell for protection until the fish leaves. You watch as delicate starfish moves one tentacle at a time over the rocks, and you see small limpet shells stuck firmly to the rocks, waiting for the tide to come in and refresh the pool. Seaweed necklaces drift on the pool's surface like strings of brown pearls. After negotiating your way around the tide pools, you find a rocky shelf to walk on. This shelf runs along the bottom of the cliffs and is worn smooth from the action of the waves. In some places where the rock is softer, caves have been eroded into the hillside. You poke your head into one cave, but it only goes back a little way and is dark and damp. As you near the old fortress, the cliffs get steeper and higher, and the waves breaking on the rocks further out to sea get bigger and wilder. You wonder how safe it is to walk here, and if the rocks fall from time to time. You see quite a few rocks along the shelf, but you're not sure if they've tumbled down from above or been tossed up by the sea in a storm. The rocks don't have the remains of barnacles or other sea life on them, so you suspect they've fallen from high above. When a fist-sized rock smacks into the ledge 20 yards ahead, your suspicions are confirmed. The shelf is getting narrower and narrower with each step you take. With rocks coming down from above, you realise there is serious danger in going any further. You are about to turn around when you notice an unusual-looking cave. It is unlike all other caves you've seen. This one has light shining into it from above somehow. The other caves you've seen are just shallow holes that narrow quickly and go nowhere, but you can see well into this one. The cave interests you, but you are unsure of what to do. Do you investigate further? As you think, you kick the ground just inside the mouth of the cave with your toe. When you see a glint of light at your feet, you bend down to see what your kicking has uncovered. It is an old coin. On one side is a cross, and on the other a castle and lion. You've seen these before online, and can't believe your luck. You've found a gold doubloon. Did the pirates drop this coin when they went into the cave to stash their treasures? Was it tossed up by some big storm? You have to make a decision. Do you go inside the cave to investigate, page 45, or go back past the rock pools and try to find another way up to the fortress? This is where you get to choose, beach class. You need to let me know. Do you want to go to page 45 and investigate the cave, or do you want to go back up the fortress? Let me know via Class Dojo, and the most votes win. That's what I'll be reading this evening, ready for you tomorrow.